Well, hello there, people with the internet, and hello again. I'm TheMBmulti, and welcome back to my Doki Doki Outcast Let's Play series. In the previous episodes, we had the festival at the start of Act 2. It didn't go so well. Well, it went alright until it was Yuri's time to do it, because she stuttered, she couldn't get her lines out because she wasn't doing it in front of her friends anymore. She was doing it in front of strangers, which terrified the fuck out of her. And then we had some douchebags that were making fun of her as she was struggling with her poem. And then Yuri ran out of the room crying. And then I went after her, consoled her, told her I loved her because I had no choice. I had to do it. There was no option to not do that. And then I held her hand back towards the club room. Then we sort of like reconnected with everybody. And it's like, okay, well, we won't have any new members, but fuck them. Fuck them. It's us versus the world. And then everybody was pretty happy with that. And we never figured out what the quote was across the banner, for fuck's sake. All right, chapter 2, a cute couple, because, of course, Yuri and I are a couple now. We did not show it to the other club members, so they don't know anything about this yet. So I'm curious if we're gonna, like, come out and say it, so to speak, to the other club members. We'll see. I wake up and start getting dressed for school. I then head downstairs for some breakfast. I have more time than I realized before school starts. I make a bowl of oatmeal, a piece of toast and a small cup of coffee. I eat my breakfast and wait for a bit. As I'm sitting there waiting to head out the door, I hear my phone ring. It's from Yuri. Good morning, Mark. How are you doing? I'm good. You ready for the meeting today? I am. Would you like to continue reading? Sure, of course. I've been waiting for a while, but I decided to wait until we could together. Oh, that's so sweet of you. I'll see you later then, Mark. See you later, Yuri. I realize that it's about time for me to head to school, so I walk out. Oh, okay, we skipped the whole morning commute with Sayori. Just a normal day, nothing out of the ordinary. The bell rings and everyone exits the classroom. Time for the club. I'm really excited to read with Yuri again. I enter the club like normal. Hey Mark, welcome back. Hey Monica. Anything going on for today? Nope, we don't have any assignments for today. Feel free to do whatever you want. Cool, thanks. Monica nods and goes back to discussing with Sayori. Natsuki's reading a new volume of manga. Yuri's over in the usual reading spot. Her usual reading spot. She looks over the cover of a book and sees me, smiling as she does so. Hey Mark. Hey Yuri. Ready to continue? Yuri nods with enthusiasm. We assume the same reading position and continue reading where we left off. Time passes and Monica calls out for our attention. Okay everyone, I think that about wraps up our meeting for today. See you guys tomorrow. As I'm about to head out, Yuri gently grabs my wrist. I was wondering, Mark, would you like to walk home with me today? I'd love to, Yuri. Yuri's blushing a little. As we're about to walk out, Monica stops me. Hey Mark. Before you leave, may I speak with you for a second? Sure, I guess. Do you mind, Yuri? No, not at all. I'll wait for you outside, Mark. I nod to Yuri. She exits the classroom and I'm left alone with the girls. Oh boy. What do they want? So if I'm not mistaken, you're dating Yuri? Okay, what how did you know? Monica? Aren't you, Mark? Wait, what? How did Sayori tell them? Why do you ask? Oh, come on, Mark. We could tell you've liked Yuri for the first few days you've been here. I look over at Sayori. I didn't say anything, Mark. I promised, remember? Yeah, she did promise she wouldn't say anything. Was it just that obvious? Pretty much. You guys are always reading together, sharing tea together. I think we even caught you feeding her chocolate at one point. Yeah, hey! That was a heat of the moment kind of thing, that we weren't dating yet, alright? That was something different. We decided that it was best not to bring Wow, I fumbled that sentence. We decided that it was best not to bring up. I'm heavily blushing. I want to bury my head in the ground right now. I know they're teasing me, but it's almost too much to handle. Oh, it was that obvious, huh? Don't worry, Mark. We're actually really happy for you both. Really? Of course, why wouldn't we be? You guys seem like a really very cute couple. I'm blushing even harder. We just wanted to wish you guys the best. Just don't get all lovey-dovey during club and distract us, though. Or else I'll introduce your face to my fist. I assume that Suki's only joking, but I'll keep that in mind just in case. Take good care of Yuri, Mark. We can tell you guys care deeply for each other. I will, thank you. I'll see you guys later. The girls say their goodbyes and I exit the room. I stand still momentarily. Note to self, I've got to stop being so apparent with my actions. I look next to me and find Yuri standing against the wall. Make that a second note, stop talking to yourself. Did you say something, Mark? Well, the girls were just talking to me about, Yuri looks at me with confusion. Could I tell you on the way out? Yuri giggles at me. I can't blame her. It's pretty funny that I'm the one stammering for a change. Sure, Mark. Yuri and I make our way to the courtyard. As we exit the school building, I explain to Yuri what the girls and I had discussed. It's a bit of an awkward conversation, but I eventually finish. Oh, so they already know about us? Well, so Yuri knew before the rest of the girls, but she didn't tell them. They said it was pretty obvious. There was that one time you fed me chocolate during a— Hey, come on! Right. I honestly took it as a friendly gesture at first. I've never dated anyone before, so I didn't know how to react. Yeah, it was a little weird of me to do now that I think about it. You're not upset that they know, are you? No, Mark, of course not. They would have figured it out one way or another. I'm glad. Shall we go then? Yes, let's go. Ooh, is this Yuri's house? Yuri and I walk for a bit until we finally reach her house. I'd never been to her house. I mean, no, duh! Yes, you didn't even know she existed a few weeks ago. So why the hell would you have gone to her house? So I let her lead the way. Wow, you have a nice house, Yuri. Thank you. You should come over sometime, Mark. I'd love to, Yuri. Are you doing anything this weekend? Maybe I could come over if you're not busy. That would be wonderful. Alright, sounds like a plan. I'll see you later, Yuri. See you later, Mark. Yuri and I hug each other goodbye and I start walking home. I can't wait for the weekend. Oh, this is Yuri's POV again?
I feel like the urge is going away. But it keeps coming back. I don't want to do it anymore. For his sake. He'd hate me if he found out.
Aw, I wouldn't hate you, Yuri. Wow, that was fast. Act 2, Chapter 3. Our first date. It's Sunday, which means I get to see Yuri. She told me on Friday that I can come over at 11 AM. I checked my clock, 9:37 AM. I've got time and should use it carefully, and that means I should start with a shower. After I get dressed, I head downstairs for a quick breakfast. I'm not too hungry, so I decide on toast and a glass of orange juice. I eat my breakfast and brush my teeth. Again, you're doing it the wrong way around, man. I head out of my door and start heading to Yuri's house. I've walked her home almost every day this week, so I've become familiar with how to get there. To my surprise, she only lives a few minutes away from my house. I arrive at Yuri's house. Oh, this is the what's it called? This is the soundtrack you usually hear when you read Yuri's poem. I ring the doorbell and patiently wait. Yuri opens the door and greets me with a smile. I can tell she's excited for today. Mark, thank you for coming. I've been really anticipating this weekend. Me too, thanks for having me. Please come in. Yuri lets me in. As I enter, I immediately take notice of how clean and organized everything is. Even though my shoes aren't dirty, I take them off out of courtesy. Well, you're in Japan. Of course you take off your shoes when you enter the house. That's normal in Japan. Just like when I had Yuri over for the first time, I'm sure she tried to make things a bit cleaner than normal. Yuri closes the door behind us. That's very thoughtful of you, Mark. I didn't even have to ask. Oh, well, you know. Manners. Oh, well, you know, we do live in Japan, though. I respect that. Your house is just so clean. I can only imagine the amount of work you put into making it look this way. Well, I might have done a bit of cleaning before you came over. I can tell, you did a great job. Yuri averts her gaze, blushing as she does so. You're too kind, Mark. I try. Yuri giggles at my petty joke, clearly enjoying herself. So, what would you like to do? Triple dot. Yuri thinks to herself for a moment, almost as if she hadn't planned for my arrival in advance. I can't blame her, though. I'm not usually the greatest when it comes to organizing events. I'm not sure, actually. I don't usually have company, so I apologize if I'm not the best host, Mark. No, you don't have to be sorry, Yuri. I haven't lost interest at all. I don't mind what we do as long as it's with you. Yuri once again smiles to herself. It's a sight that feels like a small reward whenever I get to spend time with her. Well, would you like to read some more? We're getting close to the end. Yeah, I'm really curious how it ends. Excellent. Shall we get started then? Okay, let's do it. Oh, I almost forgot. Yuri stops in her tracks. Would you like a cup of tea, Mark? That would be great. Okay, I'll go and make it. Would you like any help? No, I think I'm good. You can go and sit down in the living room. Make yourself at home, Mark. Alright, thank you. Yuri went to make tea for the both of us, so I went into the living room. I take a seat on the couch, slowly glance around the room, taking in the scenery. I thought it said secretary. I was like, what? It's very elegant, just like Yuri. There are entire shelves filled with books and collectibles. There's also some scented candles on the table. The top layer of the candles are melted away. Yuri must have let them sit for a while before I came over. Either way, I love the scent it left in the room. Within a few minutes, Yuri brings a tray out into the living room and sets it on the table in front of me. The tray holds 2 cups, a teapot, and even a plate of cookies for us to enjoy. Thank you, Yuri. You're welcome. Yuri stands, pouring the cup of tea for each of us. As she does so, I grab the book and flip to the page where we left off. Yuri sits down next to me. We hold the book in the same position, with me holding the right side and Yuri holding the left side with one hand. She's even closer than before. Just like usual, Yuri wears her intense reading expression. She really gets into her reading. As we read, I notice that her hand is available. I hold her hand in mine as we read. At first she doesn't notice, but then she looks down. She smiles. You don't mind? Not at all. I actually kind of like it. I smile as we continue reading. As we read, I notice that Yuri isn't having as much of a hard time focusing. I think it's because she's used to it now. We enjoy our reading together in complete silence. We've been reading for quite a while now. I've noticed that I haven't had a sip of my tea. I don't want it to get cold. As I release my grip on the book, I attempt to grab my teacup. I manage to clutch it, but I end up spilling tea on myself. Ah! Oh my goodness! Mark, are you alright? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm sorry, I was just trying to grab the teacup and accidentally spilled it. It's my fault. I should have let you stand up. No, Yuri, it wasn't your fault. I didn't say anything, so you didn't know. Are you hurt? No, I'm fine. The tea was sitting there for some time, so it must have cooled down. I looked down and realized that I spilled tea on the floor as well. I'm sorry. Here, let me clean it up. No, it's okay. I'll take care of it so that you can go wash up. I feel a little bad. I spilled the tea, so I feel like it's my responsibility to clean it up. Are you sure you don't mind, Yuri? Yeah, don't worry, Mark. It's no trouble at all. Well, alright. Where's the bathroom again? The bathroom is just down the hall, the second door to your left. Thanks, I'll be right back. Alright, take your time. I exit the living room and go to the bathroom to wash up. I've also seen this bathroom before. Can't remember in which mod though. It wasn't too big of a spill, thankfully. There's a towel that's hanging from a rack. I dampen it and begin dabbing my shirt in an attempt to remove the tea stain. It's not coming out so easily. I have a few methods to remove it, but as of right now it's not worth dealing with. I guess I'll be smelling like herbs for the rest of the day. In the meantime, I should head back to Yuri. I won't let this interfere with our date. I go back into the living room to find that Yuri isn't there. Where did she... I turn around to find a door in the hallway that is slightly open. Maybe she's in there? I walk towards the door and go in. It's an empty bedroom. Yuri's, I'm guessing. On my left I see a shelf. It looks pretty standard at first glance. I then look at one shelf in particular. It contains a knife collection, with each knife held up by their respective display. I take a closer look at them. They all come in different shapes and sizes. Where do you even get knives like these? All of a sudden I hear footsteps coming in my direction. I turn around and see Yuri. She looks a bit shocked to see me. I see you found my knife collection. Yeah, it's quite the collection. I'm sorry that I barged in. When I came back from washing up, I couldn't find you. I saw the door was open and I was curious. Oh, it's okay. I was worried that you'd find it eventually. What? Are you ashamed of your collection, Yuri? No, not necessarily. I was just afraid of how you'd take it. This is the reason why I insisted on going to your house when we had to work on the festival decorations. Yuri, you don't have to worry about it, I promise. You mean you're not creeped out by it? Remember what I told you when you first came over? That I wasn't here to judge you? Yuri nods. Well, it's true. It's just simply a hobby of yours, right? If you like collecting knives and no one's getting hurt, then what's wrong with that? Yes. Yuri answers almost immediately. I mean, yes. It's just a hobby of mine. That is all it is. Well, if you like it, then I can't take it away from you. Like I said, I'm not creeped out at all, Yuri. Thank you, Mark. I knew you'd understand. You always do. Yuri and I hug each other. Would you like to hold a few of them? Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. Not at all. Just please be careful this time, alright? We wouldn't want you to cut yourself on accident again. Of course. We discuss and hold some of Yuri's knives for a few minutes. They're very interesting. Just like with her books, Yuri has an oh, fuck me. I almost had to sneeze there and then it went away. Just like with her books, Yuri has an extensive knowledge about her knives as well. Yuri told me that they come from a variety of different cultures and backgrounds. She also mentions how each knife has their own purpose, giving each one an identity of their own. Pretty neat, don't you think? I'd say so. I never realized how much purpose a knife could have. Many see them as just a way of killing something or someone, but there's more to them than that. I have to give you credit, Yuri. Initially I used to think knives were just dangerous objects. They really are more than that. You certainly know how to change my mind on many things. Well, thank you. As I said when I gave you writing advice for the first time, you have to enjoy the little things. Not only that, but never judge a book by its cover. I couldn't agree more. So if you don't mind me asking, what got you into knife collecting in the first place? Well, it was actually my father. Your father? Yuri nods. He's always traveling for work, and one day when he came back from his trip he brought me a small pocket knife as a souvenir. I don't see him very often, so I started collecting them as a way of keeping him in my thoughts. It's a little weird, I suppose, but that's how I got into it. Not at all. It just shows how much you care for him. What about your mom? Does she travel a lot too? My mother? I actually don't know much about her. Question mark. She passed away when I was only a few years old. My father has told me stories of her, but I only know so much. He doesn't particularly enjoy talking about her. Yuri, I'm sorry. No, don't be sorry, Mark. You didn't know. It's sad knowing Yuri lost her mom, let alone at a young age. Both of my parents are still alive and together, but I hardly see them. I can only imagine how hard it must... Oh, I don't need to... Oh, it must have been for Yuri's father to raise her, especially all on his own. Yeah. I thought I was going to say, I can imagine how much it... What? Yeah, I can only imagine how hard it must have been for Yuri to lose her mom. Like, I thought that's what it was going to say. And it's like, oh, no, it's not going to be very hard for me to imagine that. I have some personal experience. I make an attempt to bring some positive vibes back to the conversation. Do you remember much about her? What she was like? Well, I do remember my father telling me that my mother used to love to read. He said that she always had a book in her hand. I guess you could say that I get my love for literature from her. Yeah, I can see that. There's silence between us. Would you like to go back to reading, Yuri? Sure. We head back to the living room to continue reading. I hope that I didn't upset Yuri for the rest of the day. I think reading might help take her mind off this whole conversation. Time passes and we eventually finish the book. What an interesting book. I really like the ending. I'm glad you enjoyed it. There's something I've noticed while we've been reading, Mark. Oh yeah? What's that? Not only have you enjoyed reading more, but you've been getting faster as well. I think to myself for a moment. Yeah, I guess I have. I honestly didn't notice. I think back to when I first started reading with Yuri. I was very slow compared to her. It makes me feel happier about how my reading has improved. You should be proud. I smile to myself with enthusiasm. Yuri and I look at each other. I can't even put into words how much Yuri means to me. I look outside and realize that it's getting pretty dark. It's getting late. Oh, is it time for you to leave? Unfortunately it is. I wish we had more time. Yuri has a look of disappointment, similar to the one when she first came over. I understand why she feels this way. I'd love to spend more time with her if I could. Don't be upset, Yuri. We'll get together again very soon. I know we will. Yuri walks me to the front door. I had a great time today, Yuri. I did too. I can't wait for the next days. Me neither. Triple dots, triple dots. Well, I'll see you later, Yuri. Goodbye, Mark. Be safe on your way home. I give her a reassuring nod. As I'm about to walk out the door, Yuri gently grabs my wrist. Huh? Wait, there's something I wanted to say. I wanted to say that... Yuri struggles to finish her sentence. You mean so much to me. I'm still amazed at how you enjoy spending time with me, even if I'm different. It's very rare for me to share my life with someone else, let alone my own hobbies. But you being here makes me really happy. I'm so lucky to have you in my life. I smile. Just thank you for being here for me. For talking with me, for spending time with me, for respecting me. I love you, Mark. I don't deserve you, but I'm happy to have you in my life. Yuri averts her gaze again. I hope that doesn't sound weird of me to say. That's just how I feel. Not at all. In fact, I'd say I'm the lucky one. You're one of the most gentle, kind and down-to-earth people that I know. You've gotten me interested in so many new things. You've opened my eyes up to new hobbies. Hobbies that I would never have even known about if it wasn't for you. I would even say you've helped me grow as a person. I could never thank you enough for it. You're amazing, Yuri. I love you for who you are, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't let Yuri finish. I instead pull her into a tight embrace and kiss her very passionately. She's really surprised at first. Even I was, but I did it anyway. Yuri closes her eyes and returns my embrace. Her grip is gentle but firm. It sends a tingling sensation around my body. Her lips are soft. Yuri's surprisingly good at kissing. I can tell she's into it. I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't either. She's even slightly humming to herself. I have this weird feeling in my stomach. However, it isn't a bad feeling at all. It's a feeling of happiness. Is it just me? It's probably just me. Maybe Yuri... We continue kissing for a while. I would do this all night if I could. We finally release each other as if the moment had lasted an eternity. Well, that was amazing? Yuri nods. You both have a hard time saying anything. I guess I'll see you soon then? Yeah, see you as well. Good night, Yuri. Good night, Mark. I nod to Yuri and walk out the door, thinking to myself about how great this day has been.
at my shelf of knives. What are you doing? Don't do it. You're happy now, aren't you? There's no need for that anymore. You're better than this. I pull up my sleeve and look at my arm. I don't need it. I don't need it.
It's very interesting to see the Yuri perspective there. Because, well, it is an addiction. Like, you know, it's not like a substance addiction, but it is an addiction nonetheless. So I kind of, it feels very real with that I don't need it, I don't need it. I mean, it kind of reminds me of that SpongeBob episode where he's in Sandy's house and he tries to act like he doesn't need water to, like, you know, survive. but you know, like in this case, you know, it feels really real where she's like, I don't need it. Like, you're happy now, right? Like, you know, it doesn't just magically make the feeling go away when you're suddenly like, I mean, it could help, like in a relate, but you know, the relationship just to patch out the self-harm thing wouldn't go that easily, you know? So, yeah, that I don't need it. Like, you're happy now, right? So why do I still feel the urge to do it? Like, because it is essentially, it is just an addiction, right? Just because you have an alcohol addiction doesn't mean that if you're in a relationship with someone, you all of a sudden, you know, your body doesn't stops crying for the alcohol again, or the cigarettes, or whatever it is, or drugs, or whatever other thing. So yeah, that I don't need it feels very real in that sense. Yeah. Let's keep going. It's all about a little bit of a short episode otherwise, so I'll just keep going. Chapter 4, different taste, different interest. It's Sunday, again. Yuri and I wanted to spend more time together. I didn't really think ahead of time what we'd be doing for today. Maybe we could... No. As I was thinking, my phone started ringing. It's Yuri. I answer. Good morning, Mark. Hey, Yuri. How are you today? I'm well. How are you? I'm good, thank you. I was calling to ask what you would like to do today. Well, I have a few suggestions. However, I'm not sure which one to decide on. Alright, how about this? I'll let you choose. It will be like a surprise that way. I don't mind what we do, since I'll be with you after all. Oh, thank you. Alright, I guess it's up to me to decide. Yuri has shown me a lot of her interests. Maybe I could show her some of mine. Not to mention, they're simple and fun. The coffee shop. Well, the answer is pretty obvious. Video games. I think Yuri and I would have fun playing video games. I tell Yuri to come over. She tells me that she'll be here in about 20 minutes. I start preparing for her arrival. It's almost time for Yuri to come over. I've managed to tidy up a few things for Yuri's arrival. I'm admittedly not the best when it comes to setting up days. I just hope this was a good idea. Oh, that must be Yuri. I head downstairs. I open the front door and find Yuri standing there. Hey Yuri, thanks for coming over. I'm happy to be here, thank you for having me. So, are you ready? I suppose so. Is something wrong? No. I'm sorry, it's just that you never mentioned what we were doing. Oh, right. Well, come upstairs and you'll see. Okay. I take Yuri's hand in mine and we walk upstairs to my bedroom. We enter my room. You can sit down and get comfortable. As Yuri sits down on my bed, I go over to my TV and turn it on. Yuri? How familiar are you with video games? Not very much at all, if I'm being honest. Well, that is going to change, and you are going to like it, Yuri. Because we're going to play one. Really? Yep. I've never played a video game before. I always thought they were just about mindless killing. Well, I can't blame you for thinking that. True, a lot of games contain violence and not much substance, but there are much more. But they're much more than that, though. Some even tell amazing stories. Well, shall we get started then? Not we, but you. Eh? Mark, I can't. Sure you can. I know you've never played them before, but they're quite adaptable. I'll even help you if you get stuck. Please, Yuri. I mean, if she's really uncomfortable with it or like unknown, like you can just start it on your own and she can, you know, like sit next to you and then sort of like I feel like Yuri would, I mean, if you have pick out a game with a good story, I feel like Yuri would really like that. What would be a good game? Well, I do think Cry of Fear would be a great game for Yuri. Because Cry of Fear also has a ton of hidden meanings behind. It's first of all, it's a horror game. And Yuri, you know, it may not be your favorite genre, but it is something that Yuri really likes. Because Yuri really... she doesn't say psychological horror in the vanilla game, but she says surreal horror, I believe, right? Or does she actually say psychological? I don't remember. But Cry of Fear is a psychological horror game. And there's a lot of hidden meanings. All the enemies have a certain relation to the main character. There's certain hints to sort of like catch the story before the story unfolds. So you can sort of figure it out before the game tells it to you. So yeah, there's tons of like hidden messages and hidden meanings and stuff. So I feel like Yuri would be very intrigued by the story. And it's about a story, and the main character self-harms as well, just like Yuri. And it starts, the opening monologue from Simon starts off with him saying that he's very lonely. So I feel like just off the bat, Yuri would be very interested and feel very connected with Simon. So, and there's hints of his, you know, it doesn't, you only see his self-harm in the, I believe it is in the multiplayer campaign, where you literally see a cutscene of him doing it. But other than that, it's only implied and stuff like that, and you see it when you go for the healing animation. Because you go for the healing animation, you jab some morphine in your arm. So you pull out your arm like in front, and then he pulls his sleeve down, and then you see the cuts on his arm, and then he jabs a morphine syringe in there, and then you're healed. So it's very subtle. You have to actually like pay attention to the character model to see the scars on his arm, which is something Yuri would totally do. Yuri would just love to, I feel like Yuri would love that game. She would just analyze everything. She would theorize. Like, she's the type of person that would come up with tons of elaborate theories. Or even going into like very nonsensical theories just because they're fun and because there's a bit of evidence there. Yuri would also love Higurashi, I feel like. The games that I'm playing on my... I was going to say second channel, but that's not even true. The games that I'm playing on the membership level. I never really advertise my membership, but join. Join! Become a senator. If you go to the second tier, you have access to a lot of videos. And among those, I am doing the Higurashi When They Cry series, which is also a horror... It's a visual novel, just like Doki Doki Literature Club. It's a horror, a psychological horror thing, and there's also a ton of mysteries, and they're absolutely fantastically written. There's tons of theories. At the first 4 games are question arcs. You never get any answers, you only get questions. And there's, I don't know how many different theories you could come up with, and the writer made sure to sort of like sprinkle in hints for whichever theory you have. Every theory you have, like there's evidence for everything, but also evidence that contradicts. So there's never one theory that feels 100% correct. But whatever theory you choose, there's always a bunch of evidence in favor of it and a bunch of evidence against it. No matter which theory you choose, it's very, very well written, and the characters are very, very nice as well. A lot of the characters are really fun and very interesting, and have very interesting backstories as well. So Yuri would, I mean, that's not really a game in that sense, because it's a game where you have to like walk around and do something. It's a visual novel, just like Doki Doki Literature Club is a visual novel. So it's not necessarily a game in that sense. Maybe we should start with that. Like if Yuri is very uncomfortable or whatever, we should just start with a visual novel. We start with Higurashi or something. Or maybe a bit mild, more mild visual novel. And then work up to actual games. But I feel like Yuri would also love something like Minecraft or something. Not really because it's not really a story in Minecraft, a bit, but not really. But with her creativity, I feel like Yuri would really... I feel like Yuri would have essentially the same sort of journey with Minecraft as I have had. Where, because my little brother introduced me to Minecraft all the way back in something like 2011 or something. In version InvDev. If any of you guys are old enough to remember that one. And my little brother came over. He's like, oh, there's this new game. It's awesome. You have to play it. You have to play it. And he's like, all right, I'll check it out for you. So I was checking it out. And then he's like, what? I booted it up. There was like a free version you could play on the internet back then. And I booted it up and I was like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, no. Like, I know what you're thinking. Just play. Just don't look at the visuals. You just have to play. And he was like sitting like next to me being all excited. And I was like, whatever. I'll make him happy. I'll play or whatever. And then within like half an afternoon, I was addicted to Minecraft. So I feel like Yuri would have a similar reaction. She would be like, I don't know. And I'm like, try it, Yuri. You'll like it. Okay. And then Yuri's like, oh, for his sake, I'll try it. And then within like 30 minutes, Yuri is addicted to Minecraft. I feel like that's what's going to happen. And then at the end of the day, I have to drag Yuri away from the computer because she can't stop. Because she wants to keep going or whatever. And then she wants to keep playing again and again and again, I feel like. And she would end up absolutely loving the game. That's what I feel like would happen. But yeah, that is stuff that Yuri would like. Also, I kind of, even though that's this Yuri, I feel like Yuri, like original Yuri or vanilla Yuri or whatever you want to call it, from the original Doki Doki Literature Club, I feel like she would really like Half-Life as well. Especially Half-Life 2 in the episodes, because there's a lot of story there as well. I mean, yes, it is a lot of action. So maybe Yuri would like it if I would do the gameplay and she would just watch along, perhaps. Or she would do the gameplay, but then I could help or take over for difficult parts or something. For example, the fucking plaza defense area with Alex and the shield generators. Like, my god, that area is nuts. We have to survive waves of Combine guys on the plaza. Or, of course, the final battle in episode 2 against the Striders. That's insane. Not trying to say that Yuri wouldn't be able to do it. I'm pretty sure she would if she like put her mind to it. But if she feels, if she really feels uncomfortable, like the whole point is to have fun. Like if I don't want to, I don't want to like sit there as a sort of like a drill coach, like a drill master or a coach or something. No, come on, Yuri, you have to do this. Go there, use your grip. Oh, what the fuck, Yuri? You got killed by the helicopter. What the fuck? Like no, like the point is to have fun. So if she really doesn't want to do it, then then she doesn't want to do it. Like I'm not gonna force her to do it. But I think she would really like Half-Life 2. And the episodes as well. Because there is a lot of story. Besides the mindless shooting, there's a lot of story and symbolism there too. And the game doesn't just like spell it all out. There's just additional stuff that you can sort of like find by hanging around NPCs or looking at the environment. And like the entire atmosphere is great. Which is, Yuri really says that she likes, fantasy novels that, very descriptive and take your mind to a faraway place. And I feel like even Half-Life holds up pretty well. Just the story, but also the graphics. And the entire atmosphere, the moods, the attention to detail with everything really sets the tone for the kind of the vibe that is in line with the story. And I feel like Yuri would really appreciate that and get lost in that as well. So yeah, those are games that I feel like I would introduce to Yuri if, if it was real life and Yuri was my girlfriend or whatever. Yuri looks at me again. Okay, I'll give it a try. Awesome. I hand my controller to Yuri. I would go computer though, because I'm at the computer right now. I'm always a computer person. I do have a console. I have a PlayStation 2. That's the only console I've ever owned, a PlayStation 2. Well, I've also had a Game Boy, and I have a Nintendo DS. So those are the only non-PC things that I own. But I don't like controllers. I prefer PC like 10,000% or whatever. 10,000 times more than a controller. I had, I can't remember how, it was like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. A friend of mine invited me to his birthday, and he had essentially like a LAN party at his house for his birthday. And he played, and he was playing Smash Bros on whatever. He had a PlayStation or something, or an Xbox, can't remember. It was the latest Smash Bros game at the time. And I was fucking horrible. First of all, because I've never played a game like that. I'm horrible with platformers to begin with. So I was constantly like getting like unable to dodge. I was constantly facing the wrong direction because I lost track of my character because there's so much happening on the screen. So that didn't go well off the bat, but then also I had to use a controller, so I was like, oh no, wait, hang on a minute, this button, no, that button, no, fuck, and then I was already dead and stuff like that, you know. So it's like, no. I can understand if you grew up with it, just like how I grew up with behind the computer. I know my way around the computer very well, and you know, with certain games, you know, the hotkeys, the shortcuts, and all that type of stuff. Just without having to look at the computer, you know, I can type with, I've got my second monitor here next to me and my main monitor right here. So, you know, I've got a second monitor there. If I'm writing a paper or whatever, I can just like look at the paper, typing, know where all the letters are on the keyboard. You know, because, you know, you spend a lot of time there, so you sort of learn all that stuff. But so I can understand if you grew up with a console, you think, oh well, I like the console, but I grew up with a PC, so I'm like, oh, I prefer the PC over the console. So yeah, so I would do this. So I would do the same. I would only introduce Yuri to playing on the PC. Like, no, fuck that controller, Yuri. Just don't do that. Just leave it there. We're going to teach you how to use a mouse and keyboard like a civilized person. But yeah, I mean, a product of your environment or whatever that's called, you know? Like, I grew up playing PC games, so obviously I prefer PC over console. And obviously that means that if I'm going to introduce video games to Yuri as my girlfriend, I'm going to introduce her to PC games first, you know? So I'm going to get her to familiarize herself with the mouse and keyboard rather than a controller. So I wouldn't have my controller to Yuri, I would seat Yuri behind my desk and position her in front of my mouse and keyboard. I pop in the game that I think Yuri would enjoy and we start playing. Don't play against Yuri, because that's just unfair. She has a bit of a hard time getting used to it at first. However, to even my surprise, she caught on very quickly. It wasn't long before she started mastering the controls. We continued playing for a while. Again, let me know what kind of game it is, I'm curious now. I'm surprised at how much time has passed. We've been playing for nearly an hour and Yuri hasn't even grown tired of it. She seems to be really enjoying the story, judging by her intense expression. She seems... Oh, it's the same one she wears when she's reading a book that she's really into. I would even say she's mesmerized by it. Oh my goodness! What is it? Nothing, it's just... I never thought that a video game could be so engaging. Oh, so you're enjoying yourself? Okay, I admit it. I was wrong about video games. They really are more than just mindless killing and violence. It's almost like I'm actually in a book. It's almost like I'm actually in a book, you know? I'm interacting with the world around me. Also, a sort of like an MMORPG kind of thing. I think that would suit Yuri very well as well. Like a fantasy kind of setting, since Yuri loves fantasy. And then having your own character, you can go your own path. I mean, maybe like the quests is sort of a laid out path in that way, so maybe that would be... I mean, I don't think Yuri will automatically dismiss the game because of that, but I would feel like it's a bit... maybe something like Mountain Blade or something. I mean, no, Mountain Blade doesn't have a fantasy element, but I'm fairly sure that there must be mods out there that add fantasy things, like spells and magic and stuff. So you can turn it into a fantasy mod if you want to. I mean, I'm highly surprised if there is no sort of like Lord of the Rings mod for what's it called? For Mountain Blade. I mean, I know there's the... I mean, there's that samurai mod. There's that. There's a Roman Empire mod. There is a cowboy mod. There is fucking. I believe there's a Star Wars one. I believe as well. There's an anime mod, which adds like a whole bunch of things from every anime ever. So, you know, you can customize that to your heart's content as well. Of course, there's, what is it, Pandora, which is ultra fucking hard. And just some enhancements to the vanilla mods, you know. But, you know, I would be really surprised if there isn't a Lord of the Rings mod for Mountain Blade. So I feel like Mountain Blade would be a great mod, a great game for Yuri to play as well, because you can sort of choose your own story. You know, you can set up your character. And there are only a limited amount of quests that you can do from the characters. But you can choose to accept them or not. You can choose, you know, which faction to join. You go to the Kingdom of Swadia or Rhodoks or whatever. Or just be a mercenary or an outlaw, or, you know, you can choose whatever you want. I really think Yuri would love that. She says, Yuri feels like the type of person that would also likes to, I mean, she says that she likes to write, but that's mostly referring to the poetry. But I feel like she would also really like to write in her own fantasy story. And that's, you're sort of writing the story as you play it. You can choose whatever you want to do. You can role play as much or as little as you like. So I feel like Mountain Blade would also be a great game for Yuri. Oh, I didn't even read that one. I'm interacting with the world around me. It's so interesting. I'm glad you like it. I thought it'd be fun to show you some of my hobbies. I'd say it paid off well, wouldn't you say? I think it did. Thank you for sharing with me. As we play, I wrap my arm around her. She looks in my direction and kisses me on the cheek. We both smile and continue playing. It's great to see that we can share each other's interests, all while enjoying and learning something from them. It definitely helps us grow as a couple. We've been playing for several hours now. It's getting pretty late. It seems like Yuri noticed as well. It's getting late, isn't it? Unfortunately, yes. Oh. I'm afraid that I have to be leaving then. I'm sorry, Mark. No, don't be. I understand. I had a lot of fun today. I did too. I walk Yuri downstairs to the front door. Thanks for coming over, Yuri. I really had a great time. Me too. I'm glad I gave video games a chance. Yeah, you really seem to enjoy them. I guess I'll see you at the club tomorrow? Yeah, I'll see you as well. I hug and kiss Yuri goodbye as she leaves. I'm really happy that she enjoys one of my hobbies. Act 2, Chapter 5. Class assignment. Ooh, an assignment for Monica, I guess. Interesting. Yeah, okay, so those are my thoughts on what kind of video games Yuri would like. I mean, it's mostly from personal experience because, you know, I can only recommend a game that I've played too. But I feel like Yuri would really like that stuff, you know. I think she would like Cry of Fear for the horror and the hidden elements, the deeper meaning, the symbolism and all that type of stuff. I think Yuri would have a great time trying to figure it out. And would relate to the character. I think she would also like visual novels like Higurashi When They Cry because of the intricate storytelling. And it is pretty much like a very low entry for for gaming or whatever, you know. It's a visual novel, so if she's really uncomfortable with the whole playing and stuff, like, we could start with a visual novel in that case. And I think Higurashi When They Cry is an absolutely amazing one. Yeah, I also feel like Mountain Blade would be a great one because she can sort of like write her own story in that one. I think Yuri would really like that. You can choose your own path for your own character. Because Yuri already said, like, I wish I could just jump in my book and, you know, be in that world instead of with the real worlds because of how they treat her there. So I feel like that would be a great game for Yuri as well, where she can just choose her own destiny in the game and role play as much or as little as she likes. And as well as, like I said, there's going to be, like, I don't know how many mods for Mountain Blade, so you can customize it whatever direction you want. So if you want fantasy, there's more than enough mods that provide that, I imagine. So yeah, and I feel like she would also love Minecraft, even though there's no story there. But I think she would really like it as well. And there's probably tons of others that I haven't named, but, you know, there's just a few short things. Anyway, yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one to figure out what the class assignment is going to be. What Monica has in store for us. See you later, Romans. Well, later.